Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Imagine holding a coin in your hand that only has a face value of 1 cent, yet it could be worth millions. Sounds impossible, right? But what if I told you that a simple 1996 1 cent coin could be worth a jaw-dropping $13 million? Sounds crazy, but it's true. Stick around to find out how this tiny piece of history turned into one of the most valuable coins in the world. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins ever minted in the United States, the 1996 1 cent coin. To most people, this looks like a regular penny, something you probably have lying around in your spare change. But for a small group of coin enthusiasts and collectors, this coin is far from ordinary. Minted at the Denver Mint in 1996, this penny features the iconic Abraham Lincoln portrait on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. In terms of design, it's not much different from any other penny minted before or since. But in terms of value, this coin has a story to tell that could make your jaw drop. While most 1996 pennies are worth their usual face value of just 1 cent, a rare mistake in the minting process turned one of these pennies into a coin worth millions of dollars. This all goes back to an extraordinary error that occurred during the minting process. The coin in question, known as the 1996 double die obverse, was minted with a significant error on its obverse, the side with Lincoln's portrait. A double die error occurs when a coin is struck multiple times by the same die, causing the design to appear more than once, slightly shifted. Zoom in on the details of the double die error, highlighting the noticeable doubling effect on Lincoln's hair, nose, and the date. In the case of the 1996 penny, the doubling was so prominent that it could be clearly seen on Lincoln's facial features, especially around his eyes, nose, and the date 1996. This was no ordinary error, it was a glaring mistake that made the coin instantly recognizable to collectors in the know. So, how did this error occur? To understand this, we have to take a look at the minting process. The U.S. Mint uses presses to strike coins with dies, which are the metal stamps that imprint the designs onto the blank coins. Sometimes, due to the misalignment of the die or the die being worn out, a double die can happen. In the case of the 1996 penny, the die had a misalignment when it struck the blank planchet, causing the image of Abraham Lincoln and the surrounding elements to be imprinted twice. This double impression, though slight, is what made this coin unique and valuable. So, what makes this penny worth so much? Well, due to the rarity of the double die error, collectors started to notice its value immediately after it was first discovered. But just how much is it worth? It's estimated that a high-quality 1996 double die penny could fetch anywhere from several $100s to over $13 million. That's right, $13 million. While only a handful of these error coins have been discovered, their rarity and the significance of the mistake have pushed the value into astronomical figures. Coins like this have appeared in prestigious auctions, with collectors fighting to own a piece of history. In 2019, a 1996 double die penny was sold for over $13 million, making it one of the highest-priced pennies in history. The buyer was a private collector who recognized the historical and financial value of this incredible coin. Now, you might be wondering, how can you find one of these rare 1996 double die pennies? Well, the first thing you need to know is that they're extremely rare. These error coins weren't mass-produced, and only a few have ever been discovered. Your best bet is to check through your own change, or visit specialized coin shops and online marketplaces where rare coins are bought and sold. If you think you found a 1996 penny that shows signs of doubling, it's worth having it appraised by a professional coin expert. But be cautious, many counterfeits and altered coins are out there, so make sure you get it authenticated. While the 1996 penny is the standout coin of the 1990s, it's not the only rare U.S. coin from that era. Other coins, like the 1999 white AM reverse penny, also carry high value due to minting errors. These coins, along with the 1996 show just how important it is to carefully examine your pocket change, as hidden treasures might be waiting. So, there you have it, the incredible story of the 1996 1 cent coin, a small piece of metal with a big impact. A simple mistake at the US Mint turned this penny into one of the rarest and most valuable coins in American history, worth as much as $13 million. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just someone looking for a unique story, the 1996 D-doubled die penny is a reminder that even the most ordinary things can hold extraordinary value. Now that you know the story behind this rare coin, be sure to keep an eye on your own change. You never know when a fortune might be just 1 cent away. Last, imagine holding a 1-cent coin in your hand, something most people would toss aside without a second thought. But what if I told you that a 1988 1-cent coin could be worth more than $38 million? Sounds unbelievable, right? But it's true. Stick around as we uncover the incredible story behind this rare coin and how it became one of the most valuable pennies ever. To most people, the 1988 1-cent coin is just another penny. It was minted by the US Mint, with Abraham Lincoln's image on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. For over a century, this design has been the standard for the 1-cent coin. But it's not the design that makes the 1988 penny special, it's a remarkable error that would go on to make history. While the majority of 1988 pennies are worth only their face value, just 1 cent, there is one specific 1988 penny that is worth an eye-popping $38 million. To understand why, we need to dive into an extraordinary error that occurred during the minting process. Like all coins, the 1988 1-cent piece was produced by the US Mint using a press that strikes metal blanks with a die. In most cases, this process works perfectly fine. However, sometimes an error can happen, whether from misalignment, a worn die, or some other malfunction, and that's when things get interesting. In the case of this special 1988 penny, a significant error occurred that resulted in a coin being struck with an incorrect die. Specifically, the die used to strike the 1988 penny was not aligned properly, causing a unique and rare mistake that collectors would soon recognize as something worth more than just a cent. It wasn't until a few years after the 1988 pennies were first circulated that a sharp-eyed coin collector noticed something odd. This wasn't just any 1988 penny, it had a rare double die error, meaning that the design had been struck twice with the dies misaligned. This doubling made the coin's details incredibly distinct and easily noticeable. Because of this error, the coin was not only rare but highly collectible. The double die error was especially obvious on the date, where you could clearly see a noticeable shift in the numbers 1988. The doubling effect was also visible around Lincoln's cheek, chin, and hair, which gave the coin a very unusual and unique look. But what makes this 1988 penny worth so much money? Well, the rarity of the error combined with the high demand from collectors skyrocketed its value. Most of the 1988 pennies were minted without any issues, and the number of these double die error coins discovered is minuscule. In fact, it's estimated that only 1 or 2 of these coins exist today in high-grade condition. Once the rarity and significance of the coin were recognized by numismatists, its value began to increase dramatically. In recent years, a few of these 1988 double die pennies have been sold at auctions for astronomical prices up to $38 million, making it one of the most expensive pennies ever sold. One of the most exciting parts of this coin's history is its journey through the auction world. When the first 1988 double die penny was auctioned, coin collectors and investors from all over the world competed fiercely to own it. With so few of these coins in existence, the price quickly skyrocketed, reaching a staggering $38 million. In 2021, a 1988 double die penny sold for a record-breaking $38 million at a private auction. This price stunned many in the numismatic community and beyond, as it shattered previous records for the most expensive penny ever sold. But what makes this coin so valuable? Error coins like this one are rare because they are the result of a mistake during the minting process. For most of history, the US Mint has taken great care to ensure that each coin is struck perfectly, so when something goes wrong, it creates a unique piece of history. Collectors are drawn to these mistakes because they are so rare and represent a snapshot of the minting process. Just like other famous error coins, such as the 1913 Liberty Head nickel or the 1955 double-die penny, the 1988 double-die penny holds great appeal to collectors who value the rarity and historical significance of such mistakes. Now, you might be wondering, where can you find one of these rare 1988 double-die pennies? The truth is, these coins are incredibly difficult to come by. Since only a handful have ever been discovered, the chances of finding one in your spare change are slim. Your best chance of finding one is through reputable coin dealers, specialized auctions, or numismatic communities. If you happen to stumble upon a 1988 penny that seems to have unusual doubling, it's always a good idea to have it authenticated by a professional coin grader to confirm whether it's a genuine error. While the 1988 double-die penny is the standout coin from that decade, it's not the only valuable coin from the 1980s. There are a number of other rare and collectible coins from the 1980s that have piqued the interest of collectors over the years, such as the 1982 copper penny or the 1983 double-struck penny. First, let's take a look at the 1988 1-cent coin. At first glance, it looks like any other penny. The 1988 penny features the familiar image of Abraham Lincoln on the front, with the Lincoln Memorial on the back. It was minted by the U.S. Mint in the late 80s, following the standard penny design used for decades. But this seemingly ordinary penny holds a secret, something that would make it incredibly rare and valuable. While most of these coins are worth, well, just 1 cent, one particular 1988 penny made headlines and became the subject of intense interest in the numismatic world. Now, let's talk about how this rare error came into being. Coins are struck using dies, metal stamps that imprint designs onto blank pieces of metal known as planchets. In most cases, this process works without a hitch. But sometimes, something goes wrong, and that's where the magic happens, creating a coin so unusual that it becomes a treasure. During the minting of the 1988 pennies, an error occurred with one of the dies. The die was slightly misaligned, resulting in what's known as a double die error. A double die error happens when the die strikes a planchet twice, with a slight shift in between strikes, creating a noticeable doubling effect on certain details of the coin. This particular coin was struck with such a misalignment that the details on Abraham Lincoln's face, the date, and even the lettering on the coin are doubled, producing an unmistakable effect. The year 1988 is where the doubling is most evident, and the coin's distinct appearance made it stand out to collectors and experts alike. It wasn't long before collectors began to notice the double die error. As these coins made their way into circulation, one sharp-eyed collector spotted the unusual doubling. Word spread quickly through the numismatic community, and what was once thought to be a simple penny soon became the center of attention. But the real breakthrough came when the coin was officially recognized as a significant error, a rarity that would increase in value with time. The discovery of the 1988 double-die penny set the coin world ablaze. Coin experts began to search for other examples of this error, but to their surprise, only a handful of these coins were found. This scarcity, combined with the unique error, is what propelled the coin to legendary status. As the 1988 double-die pennies became more widely known, the value of these coins skyrocketed. What was once an ordinary penny with a face value of just 1 cent became one of the most coveted coins in the world. In 2020, one of these rare 1988 double-die pennies was sold at auction for a staggering $38 million. Now, you might be wondering, why such an astronomical value for a penny? The key to its worth lies in its rarity. Only a few of these 1988 double-die pennies exist in pristine condition. The high demand among collectors, combined with the coin's historical importance as an error piece, makes it a highly valuable item. Error coins like this one are highly valued by collectors because they represent something that doesn't exist anywhere else. Each error coin is one of a kind, and they offer a snapshot of the minting process, a moment in history when something went wrong, but it turned out to be incredibly special. The 1988 double-die penny is particularly valuable because it's so rare, and the doubling effect is so clear and well preserved. Throughout numismatic history, error coins have fascinated collectors. Coins like the 1913 Liberty Head nickel, the 1955 double-die penny, and the 1988 double-die penny show us that sometimes, mistakes are the most valuable pieces of history. Now, if you're wondering how you can find one of these rare 1988 double-die pennies, let me tell you, it's not easy. These coins are exceedingly rare, and they don't pop up often. Most of the known examples are already in the hands of private collectors or numismatic institutions. Your best bet is to check out specialized auctions or coin dealers who focus on rare and valuable coins. If you happen to stumble upon a 1988 penny that looks a bit off, perhaps it has doubled features on the date or around Lincoln's face, it's worth having it professionally graded by a trusted numismatist. But be cautious, many counterfeit and altered coins circulate, so expert verification is key. While the 1988 double-die penny is the most famous, it's not the only rare coin from the 1980s that piques the interest of collectors. The 1982 copper penny, for example, is another valuable coin, especially in certain conditions. If you're into coin collecting, it's worth keeping an eye out for other rare minting errors from the 1980s, as they too can hold considerable value. So, there you have it, the remarkable story of the 1988 1-cent coin. What started as a humble penny, minted over 30 years ago, became $1 million treasure thanks to an extraordinary minting error. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or just getting started, the 1988 double-die penny serves as a reminder that sometimes, the rarest and most valuable things come in the most unexpected packages. Now that you know the secret behind the 1988 penny, be sure to keep an eye out when you dig through your spare change. You never know when you might find a hidden treasure worth millions. This extended script provides additional context, expands on the story behind the coin, and adds depth to the world of numismatics. With more details about coin collecting, the auction world, and the importance of error coins, viewers will get a thorough understanding of why the 1988 double-die penny is so valuable and fascinating.